Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of With Conviction, a story of hope, horror, and history. My name is Rain, my pronouns are she, her, and I am your GM for this adventure. With me are my quite determined heroes for this campaign. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Hi there, I'm Alice. I play Desdemona Hartwood. Both of us use she and they pronouns. Desdemona is a Roseheart Guardian, and she's a sort of gothy, punky magical girl with a heart of pink and no idea what Chris is getting up to.
And I'm Skylin. My pronouns are they and them, and I play Chris Whitlock, whose pronouns are she or any. Chris is currently doing something extremely rash without the support of her team, which is appropriate because she's our firebrand artillery.
And I am Rob. My pronouns are he, him. I play Eliza, whose pronouns are she, her. Eliza is our stalwart full warrior, and she is not really aware of what's going on. But she did just buy a guitar, so that's fun.
That's what's important.
Indeed. Last time we left you, you had spent some time planning and discussing what you wanted to do next. Eliza and Des had gone out to buy a guitar to replace the one that Eliza had smashed in anger, and Chris and Jesse went to see if Hazel was still living at the volleyball house. Nobody was there, but they did find Hazel's room still intact, and Chris decided to try something.
Yeah. Chris is currently driving Jesse's car with the intent to kind of just let her muscles drive to wherever that's going to be. The thing that she's holding on to right now is the thought of Hazel. It is images of her and the rest of the team of Des and Eliza hanging out somewhere. The concept of the four of them together, the concept of the five of them together, really, is what she's meditating on as she drives.
Are you talking with Jesse as you drive?
That's a good question. I think Chris might have a hard time talking, but if Jesse has questions or wants to probe at something, she would try to give an answer.
You care a lot about being a captain.
Yep.
Why is that?
Chris presses on the gas pedal after a stop sign. 'Cause it matters.
Yeah?
Jesse, I'm trying really, really hard to listen to my muscles and just let them do the thing. If you want to dig into my brain, you're gonna have to be more specific.
Okay. You really want to matter. And you've decided that being captain is the way to do that. I'm just thinking about how much you've got your identity wrapped up in that, in trying to matter. Chris, roll a skill related to spotting things.
Do you want me to use inspect here?
I'm okay with that, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a 10 on the dice. Plus 1 is 11.
All right. Jesse doesn't notice. But you notice a slight change in the hue of the sky as you make a turn onto a different road. And there's just something slightly off about the air.
I think Chris shivers involuntarily.
As you pass into the gray, with your mortal tie in tow, how much stress and conviction are you clearing?
First of all, the gray is the whole damn street.
You don't
Second,
know.
okay. Chris is clearing 6 stress and no conviction.
That is enough to hit the threshold.
And as she turns down that street, she says, I want to do good in the world, Jesse. And I spent a lot of time believing that sports weren't the way to do it. Being scared that just playing a game wasn't enough. I guess I decided at some point that I was going to make it enough.
That does sound like you. And as you continue driving, you begin to realize you're not sure where you are. You don't recognize the street. You take another turn, and the sky begins to return to normal. And you continue further down that street, and the strange hue of the sky returns. You are quite certain that you are lost. Do you continue driving?
I think Chris finds a stop sign first, or just pulls over to see if she has any bars.
You do not.
Jesse,
Yeah?
any chance you've got signal?
They pull their phone out, check it. Huh. No, I don't.
We are in a gray.
Oh. Looks around. You know, I thought it'd look more evil. So, Des, Eliza,
Yes.
Yeah?
as you walk out of the mall and you don't notice Chris and Jesse driving by,
Oh.
what are you up to?
Well, first order of business, probably text Jesse and Chris, see how they're doing.
There's no response.
As a minor note, along with buying the guitar, Eliza has purchased some sort of plushie at the Tokyo Lifestyle.
Amazing. So, where do y'all go after that?
What you think, Eliza? Are they out of range, or did Chris somehow corrupt poor sweet Jesse into doing something ill-advised?
Sorry, poor sweet Jesse? These two get along like a house on fire.
Oh, I know. It was
I know you know.
Eliza pulls out her phone, looks at it. If I was rock climbing, I wouldn't have my phone on me.
that is true. Any chance that either of us would have Find My Phone enabled for either of the other two?
It seems unlikely.
Yeah, we went through that already.
All right, so yeah, I think the main thing here is I just don't really trust Chris to make great decisions at the moment. So, do you think that he's like running towards the gray as we speak? Or do you think I'm overthinking this? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, yeah, she's running headfirst into danger.
Um, okay, how do we find her?
Eliza tries Chris.
There's no response.
I assume it just goes straight to voicemail.
Yep. The voicemail is, "You've reached the phone of Chris Whitlock. I like phone calls, and I actually do listen to my voicemail, unlike most people of my generation. So, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can."
Eliza does
Camera
not
zooms-
leave a message because it's not 1993.
The camera zooms out at that message to show both Des and Eliza looking at the phone with an expression of horror. They like talking on the phone?
Ugh.
Ugh. Okay. So that didn't work. I don't know what else we do here.
mean, hmm.
You know, it would be really nice if our magic powers let us magically locate people or like literally just each other. Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, it's probably fine. I'm sure nothing horrible is happening to them. Honestly, they're probably just rock climbing, like we said.
I hope you're right, Eliza. And then we cut away. Fade cut.
Chris, realizing that they're pretty lost, says as much. Not only are we in a gray, but I also don't know where we are. Any chance you recognize this?
They look around. Uh, maybe we can ask for directions?
Not likely.
That not a thing in magic lairs?
Well, the last one had some actual people in it. Well, they'd been there long enough that they didn't really have faces anymore.
Oh, that's horrible. Okay.
Sorry. Yep. Yep, correct.
Uh,
It is in fact
um,
horrible.
my face is still there, right?
Yep. You're good.
Okay.
Mention is over. I'm gonna try driving us out of here.
Okay.
Chris turns the car around and tries to drive out. The way she came in.
How much are you trying to retrace your steps? Do you remember your steps?
Uh-oh.
I think Chris used so much muscle memory coming into here that driving out is a mix of muscle memory and paying attention to the landmarks. There's a little bit of trying to retrace steps, and there's a little bit of just trying to find where this thing ends.
Okay. Do you have any skills related to driving?
Actually, would you allow me to use place?
No.
Yeah, place is more. Well, I know we're trying to keep it to fight stuff, but we've used it for carefully placing your feet in the woods before.
Missing your tires, though.
Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be good for driving. Would you like me to roll find a loophole at -1? Which I haven't rolled all campaign.
I don't think this qualifies as finding a loophole.
Oh, boo.
You may
But the
need to
loophole-
roll find a loophole when you try to explain yourself to Des, but not at the moment.
I was like, but the loophole would be the way out.
Instead, you are hesitating
Oh.
as
That's
you
fair.
try to get out.
That's fair. That's a 6 on the dice.
Uh-oh.
Fair enough.
-1 is a 5.
You take a turn. You take another turn, and did you turn right or left here? And you go the way that you think you remember. The hue of the sky doesn't seem to change. Hey, Chris, what's that? And Jesse points to something out the passenger side window.
I don't care what the answer is. You're staying here.
I am okay with that. What the fuck?
You hide best you can.
Jesse slouches.
You put up the little sun things if you need to. Here's the keys. I'm gonna go take care of this.
You pull the car over?
Yep.
You pull the car over.
Chris gets out, tosses the keys to Jesse, closes the door, and looks over the car to see what trouble she's gotten herself into.
You see a geometric pattern folding and translating and transforming itself to bend in a way that seems like a walking pace. And it is moving back and forth across an uncut lawn.
Can Chris roll inspect? Because I think that's a lawnmower that's being driven by somebody.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Well, that's a 6 plus 1 is 7.
That's enough. This is not a lawnmower that's being pushed. This is one of those monsters moving as if it is pushing a lawnmower, but it seems to have forgotten the lawnmower.
Does that thing seem to be attending at all to Chris's existence?
How close have you gotten?
Chris is just at the car.
It doesn't seem to have noticed yet.
Hey, GM, I've got a question. Eliza is the one driving as we're leaving the mall, right? Because she drove here.
Why? Better yet, would you like me to bring the camera over to you? Because this is a good time to swap.
Okay. Well,
Right.
the question I have that decides whether this is going to happen is, does her muscle memory take her towards the gray?
No, actually.
Oh, okay. But that said, I have no ideas for anything to happen with Des and Eliza right now, so.
So, Chris, what are you doing?
There's a moment where Jessie can see her moving to put her hands over her heart. And she puts them down. And she gets back in the car. Closes the door.
Chris, what the fuck is that?
That is the kind of thing that you don't want to have its attention on you.
Okay, great. Let's keep going and then you can elaborate.
Yep. That's the plan. Keys, please.
Yep.
So Chris starts the car again and keeps driving.
Eliza,
Yeah.
what are you up to right now? Are you practicing the new guitar, or
Yeah, I
are you
think.
trying to find Chris, or what's going on?
Yeah, I think that the camera just cuts to Eliza and Des getting milkshakes at the diner.
Perfect.
Eliza just gives a quick wave at Tesserae.
Tesserae waves back.
Both Eliza and Des kind of looking at each other over the milkshakes in this silent agreement that Chris would disapprove of milkshakes this early or primarily for lunch.
Yeah, and ones that aren't full of protein powder or something.
Or
Right.
vegetables.
Vegetable milkshake?
There is no, get
Yes,
out.
there are such things. Ask my whiff.
No, there
I mean-
are not.
I will
mean-
not ask.
No.
I could make it
I
work.
think we all just
but-
took psychic damage. Anyway, so it gets to a bit later in the day, and your dad gets home and sets up a punching bag with an old potato sack and some lining and loose sand that he was able to find on hand, and hangs it up on a tree in the backyard.
I think Eliza is like in the scene. She's got her portable amp set up in the background and it's hooked up to her headphones as she's tuning the new guitar.
Yeah, so I think it leads with Des leaning over and going, "Did you know that potato sacks are real?"
Eliza's got headphones on. She didn't hear.
Oh. Regardless. Okay, so I think it starts with just Des trying to work out the anger with punching the punching bag.
Roll shield check
Yeah.
and tell me what you get.
Oh boy. Well, with shield check, that is a 7.
Okay. So, how does this conversation go?
I think Des is going to town on the punching bag, and as she's like connecting with her fist, we're getting these rough impacts, and she's steadily like speeding up the punches until finally she slams the thing with her shield, and it goes swinging away. And I think that would be her dad's cue to like recognize that something's up. More than usual, I would say.
So, something went wrong last night, I take it.
She pauses for a second and dismisses her shield and goes, "Yeah, without I don't know how much of this you wanna hear about, but basically we succeeded. We beat the bad guy and we got we finished the mission, you know?
Somebody got hurt? Well, I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, we all got hurt. Some of us a little worse than others, but the
I'm glad you're okay.
of course, honestly, right now, this might sound crazy, Dad, but I think you could literally shoot me and I would be fine.
No,
But I'm not
no,
saying
we're
shoot
not going to
me.
test that.
What if we recorded it? Then we could put it on like, does TikTok allow guns? I don't think they allow guns. Anyways, not important.
Eliza actually pulls the headphones off and just says, "No!"
um, oh, so she could hear me. I see how this is. I'm not saying we should test it. Point is, I'm more durable than I've ever been, and
Uh-huh.
I'm the only one who didn't go down. Like, this isn't me saying I feel guilty. If anything, I feel very successful. It's just,
Well, at least no one died.
yeah, and that's like a win in my book, absolutely. And if all that happened to me is I came out of it with some scrapes and bruises, um, I guess I technically did get shot. Well,
I,
it was like a magic bullet. It's fine.
I,
Um, uh, the point is you can't even tell. Um, I am doing well, but it doesn't matter because fixing this first problem, destroying, closing the thing. I don't want to get too deep into what that entails. It means it resulted in our friend Hazel. I think you may have met her.
yeah, she was here last night.
Yeah, her deal is that she is now the thing that we got hurt very badly trying to destroy.
He pauses a moment and frowns, and the way his eyes are looking from one side to the other, he's trying to figure out how that works.
It's I'm not 100% certain how the mechanics work. Um,
Haven't read the rule book.
yeah, there's no convenient rulebook on itch.io and drive-through RPG. So we can't really I don't really know how it works. Um, but Hazel's kind of the bad guy right now, and she really hurt Faith, and I'm confident that we're going to stop her, but she hurt Chris and Eliza so badly. I don't know how I'm going to forgive her for this one.
He opens his mouth for a moment and then closes it. Well, let's not let Chasok try to solve that one for us, but never mind. This is probably a little more complicated.
I at this point, the only thing that's important to me is that Eliza and Chris come out of this okay. And Faith. But I know I'm going to be fine at the end of this.
Good.
Yeah, I made the promise, and I'm gonna keep my promises.
He smiles.
I'm the shield. I'm supposed to keep these two from getting hurt.
Yeah, apparently. He gestures to the pink shield that is floating in the air.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? She tosses it up a little bit in the air and points at it and uses her glass control to start slowly orbiting it around the pair of them.
All right, I can't argue with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is one of the new ones that I learned how to do. But I am working overtime to keep two of the most important people in the world to me from self-destructing. And I I don't know. I'm working real hard to keep them above water, but actually come to think of it, I haven't heard from Chris. They definitely should have been back from rock climbing by now. But the
So, Chris, you're lost, and you are still in the gray.
Yep. This is going great. Chris is driving. She actually asks Jesse, Jesse, you were paying attention when we came in here, right?
I
I say yes.
I was trusting you.
Shit. Okay. I may have overextended that trust. Again. Fuck. Chris stops the car again and puts it in park for a moment. I'm sorry, Jesse. This is too much trouble to bring you into.
Hey, no, I'm here with you. This wouldn't be the first time that we've gotten into trouble.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can get us out of it. Nope, I can't think like that. I have to be able to get us out of this. My team needs me, Jesse.
Chris, something moves in the corner of your vision.
Chris turns to look.
You see a lean shape that is almost human.
Hate that. Thanks.
It skitters towards you
Ooh.
and pauses, then jumps at you.
Okay.
So, Des,
yes,
how's your conversation going?
I'm worried that this is gonna end up hurting Chris and Eliza more than I've seen it hurt them already. I'm worried Chris is gonna run off and do something stupid. I'm worried that Eliza isn't gonna bounce back. And I'm worried I'm not gonna be able to help either of them enough. She takes some swings at the bag after saying that.
Now, your experience isn't quite like mine, but usually giving your team a goal to work toward is pretty good at focusing people. You know him well enough to know that that's more a question than a statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not exactly, team leader. Um, I did give the the group a goal. We're gonna get Faith back, but it only goes so far with all that's going on.
You know, some people would tell y'all to go for a run together, and then that would build cohesion, but he rolls his eyes.
As like visibly blanches at the idea.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It probably worked for Chris, but for me, not really my thing.
In the background of this shot, we do see Eliza has her guitar in one hand, and she's looking at her phone with the other, still has the headphones on.
What is Eliza looking at?
She was just checking the time and realizing that how long have Chris and Jesse been out climbing?
A few hours at this point. I say a few, it's been more than that.
She pulls the headphones off. Hey, there aren't any like really big mountains around here, are there?
Not any really big ones, no.
Those two have been climbing for like 5 hours. I'm starting to get worried.
I guess we need to go find them, huh?
Yeah. Well, I did say Chris might do something stupid, so maybe I spoke a little too soon.
So,
Let's.
Chris,
Mhm.
this creature is swinging at you with arms that are edged in ivory blades. This creature is moving towards you at speed, and you haven't tested the edge of those blades on its arms, but you wouldn't rate the skin of a car against them if it got that close.
Jesse? Crash course in fighting monsters. We can run, or we can fight. And my type of fighting requires that I be a little bit further away than that. I am really sorry if your car gets beat up. And Chris throws the car into reverse and screams backwards.
Okay. Again, make me a drive check.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm taking this as a flee action.
Sure.
Do you still want the check?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. That's an 11 on the dice.
Ooh.
Yeah, you zip backwards down the road. You narrowly pull into the middle of the road to get out of the way of a car that had just been parked on the side. And you keep going and you turn a corner and spin the car around and manage to get away. You lose this thing.
Do we get a brief Jurassic Park shot of it chasing after them, and Jesse looks in the mirror where it says objects in mirror are closer than they appear?
Yes.
I think so.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. I pulled you into this. You're in this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think we try to not fight this one. I would like to just get out. So, help me with landmarks as much as you can, please.
Okay. Jesse's freezing up.
Shit, Jesse. Okay. Okay. Jesse, put your hands on your knees. Go through the breathing exercises and the grounding exercise that you run me through. We are going to be okay. I will make this okay. Somehow.
Okay. All right, that is
What I do with...
fucking terrifying.
Yep. Welcome to my new job.
Yeah,
I am going to keep driving
that sounds like you.
with the intent of getting us out of here. If it comes to a fight, you have a choice. And Chris starts driving as she explains. You can either hide in the car and stay as safe as you can, stay out of the way, and I'll just deal with it. It's okay, I am made for this, apparently. Or you can try to help, but if you try to help, I really need you to be super extra careful. I can't lose you the way I lost Hazel. Okay?
There's a flash of something in Jesse's eye as you say that. And Jesse nods, still going through those breathing exercises and trying not to look outside the car. The more you drive, the more you begin to notice on some of the houses streaks of what look like marble shot through with gold. Some are on the roofs, some on a wall. They're all pointing in the same direction. Heck, some of them are even on the ground or on a chain link fence. They seem to have been smeared across it like a texture in a computer rendering.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are all of these gold patches covering where something was damaged, like potholes and such?
No.
Oh, okay.
You start to see a few more of them as you continue. Make me another drive check.
As we do this, I will mention that the do the weird thing instinct is kicking in again. That is a 10 on the dice.
Okay. You make a turn. And you start to see less of these. And you start to see a few less houses and a few more trees. The odd, overcast, light through the clouds effect in the sky begins to fade a bit. What do you do? Do you keep driving or do you go back?
Here's what I want to do. I would like to drive out of the gray, leave my mortal tie not in the gray, thank you very much, and then have Chris go back in.
You continue to drive. You continue to drive. At a certain point, you find yourself off-roading. It's rough and
Sorry about your suspension, Jesse.
it's been through worse. It's fine. And by the time you finally get out of the gray, you find yourself not very far from a certain gully in a certain set of trees in a certain field. in a certain park.
Damn. Okay. Chris drives out to the road somewhere. Parks. Jesse? You okay?
I'll be fine. The answer is no, but I'm not in mortal danger, and I don't think that that's going to give me any nightmares. So I think I'm gonna be good,
Okay,
and I'll
good.
let you know if I'm not.
Because I'm going back in.
Right, this is your... okay.
You weren't looking, but there were spots of... I'm gonna call it light pollution. For your sake.
Okay.
Do Chris and Jesse get a whole bunch of texts as they get out of the grave?
Yep.
Yeah, your phones light up.
Ah. Well, fuck. Okay. Jesse? I need
Huh?
to...
Yeah?
I want to follow that light pollution. I think that's where Hazel is. I need you to do one of two things. A. Choice 1. Tell me not to go. Choice 2. Drive. And call Des. Take very good note of where you are right now.
Are you gonna wait until they come and join you?
You wouldn't believe me if I said yes, would you?
I would like to trust you.
Chris's face twists.
Sorry, wrong choice of words.
No, you're right. It's not smart to go in there without my team, is it?
At least with somebody.
Alright.
That's I didn't realize it was gonna be that freaky.
Yeah. Alright.
So
Call-
let's go and pick up Des and Eliza.
Call Des. And Chris starts driving back towards Dez's place.
Ring. Ring. Ring.
On the other side, we see Des staring at her phone, going, God, Chris, why? Before finally picking up.
Hey.
Hi.
Speakerphone?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're on speaker.
Good news, we're alive. Better news, we found the Grey.
Mm-hmm. And
On a mountain?
oh yeah, I'll Des will also put it on speaker.
Oh, good.
There was a change of plans.
Jesse, I expect this from Chris. But I was really hoping you would at least try to talk him out of it.
I thought that two people would be fine. I didn't realize that those things were like that.
Jesse, I know you're a sibling, but until such time as you manifest your trans magic powers, I don't think that trying to do what Chris does is a great idea.
I take your point.
Chris? Jail.
What?
Jail for 1,000 years. What did you... Okay, wait. You found the gray.
Yep.
It sounds like you went in.
That would be how we found it.
We see Eliza suddenly looking into the middle distance. She's had an idea.
Okie dokie. Gosh.
I'm sorry, Des.
Yeah, in this particular instance, sorry's not gonna cut it.
Does it help if I say we're already driving back to your place?
Helps a little bit, but I was extending trust, Chris, and instead
Wait.
of...
Why are we coming back? We're going in there right now, right?
We're gonna go in there. As soon as I'm certain Chris is up to snuff, we're gonna go get Faith back. But I also need to know that I can, trust Chris to back me up when we're in there.
Chris is suddenly incapable of words and is just driving. Jessie can see that she looks broken again.
I'm glad you're both okay. And when you get back here, we will make up a little game plan. And we're going to go get Faith back. And then I think we're going to have a long conversation.
Des?
Yeah.
I know you said sorry doesn't cut it. But I am. And apparently I have run out of trust enough that I just can't do that anymore. Fuck, do you even want me as captain of this team?
Chris?
If I've broken your trust that much, Des, I don't know if I should.
I do want you as the captain, but that means being in charge of the team. That means working for the team and not running off half cocked and making me and Eliza worry about where you are. You didn't even tell us where you were going.
I found the grade, didn't I? No, shit.
And Jesse, did you guys see anything besides the gray?
Folding geometry.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
something very pointy.
Very pointy. Like a snake's teeth.
No.
You could have found the gray and immediately turned around. And instead you went back in.
We got lost in it, Des. Didn't realize right away.
I'm actually with Chris on this one. If I'd found it and I thought I could find where Faith was, I would have run right in.
Yeah, I understand, Eliza. I know how both of you are feeling right now. It's extremely difficult to have lost Hazel and Faith, and we haven't lost them for good. But if I lose either of you, that's the ball game. I can't do this by myself. And to be frank, you two can't do it on your own either. We need each other.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. We're heading there right now, right?
We're gonna check over Chris's wounds real quick. I think as far as risky business is concerned, this is about as risky as it gets. So as soon as we've confirmed that Chris and I are up to snuff, then yeah, we're going.
All right.
We're fine. We didn't get hurt. Chris got us out of there.
Well, small blessings, I guess. Come on back here, and we're gonna figure out exactly how we're gonna do this.
And I think that's a good place for us to wrap up this episode. Thank you everyone so much for listening. And thank you to my players. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Have a good night. Thank you again for joining us on this adventure. With Conviction is a production of Silver Maiden Games. If you would like to play Conviction, check out the game at silvermaidengames.itch.io. Music for the intro and outro of this podcast is A Soul with Conviction by Doom Vega, who you can find on Bandcamp. Music within the episodes is by Rachel Rose Mitchell, who you can find on Bandcamp and Spotify. All rights to the music are retained by their original artist. Production and editing are done by myself and the With Conviction cast. Thank you all. This would not be what it is without you. You can find this podcast on Spotify and YouTube or silvermaidengames.wordpress.com. You can also find more about the game, podcast, and ways to contact us at silvermaidengames.wordpress.com.